At 19 years old, he walked into court thinking the truth would save him. He never touched the gun. He never pulled the trigger. But when the judge read the sentence, his mother screamed like someone had died. Life in prison, under the felony murder rule. In the eyes of the law, he was now a murderer. This is the true story of how one ride, one decision, cost him everything. Cook County Criminal Courthouse, Chicago, Illinois. Department 26. Judge Michael O'Brien presiding. Dante Williams stands at the defendant's table, wearing an orange jumpsuit that's too big for his thin frame. His hands are cuffed in front of him. His lawyer, a public defender named Sarah Chen, stands to his right. Her face is carefully neutral, but her shoulders are tense. Behind him in the gallery, his mother sits in the front row. Patricia Williams, 42 years old. She's wearing the same church dress she wore to his high school graduation 2 years ago. Her hands are clasped together so tightly her knuckles have gone white. Next to her, Dante's younger brother Marcus, 14, stares at the floor. His grandmother sits on the other side, dabbing her eyes with a tissue that's already soaked through. The courtroom is packed. On the left side, Dante's family and a few friends from the neighborhood. On the right side, the victim's family. Raymond Harris's mother, his sister, his daughter, who just turned 10. The air is thick with tension, grief, anger. Judge O'Brien looks down at the paperwork in front of him. He's in his early 60s. Gray hair, reading glasses perched on his nose. He's been on the bench for 23 years. He's seen thousands of cases, thousands of young men just like Dante. He clears his throat. Mr. Williams, please rise. Dante stands. His legs feel like they're going to give out. His lawyer puts a hand on his shoulder, steadying him. The jury has found you guilty of first-degree murder under the felony murder doctrine, armed robbery, and conspiracy to commit armed robbery. Dante's mouth goes dry. His heart pounds so hard he can feel it in his throat. He knew this was coming. His lawyer had warned him, prepared him. But hearing the words out loud makes it real in a way nothing else could. I didn't kill him, Dante whispers. His lawyer squeezes his shoulder. Don't speak, she whispers back. But Dante can't help it. His voice rises, desperate, pleading. Your Honor, I never touched the gun. I never went inside. I didn't know. Mr. Williams, the judge interrupts, his voice firm but not unkind. The jury has spoken. Under Illinois law, participation in a felony that results in death carries the same penalty as pulling the trigger yourself. Dante's knees buckle slightly. His lawyer grabs his arm. The judge continues. I've read your file, Mr. Williams. I've heard the testimony from both sides. I understand that you claim you didn't know what was going to happen that night. I understand that you were not the shooter, but the law is clear. Your role in the underlying felony makes you legally responsible for the death of Raymond Harris. He pauses, looks directly at Dante. Taking into account the nature of the crime, the victim's family's testimony, the guidelines under Illinois sentencing law, and the fact that a firearm was involved, I hereby sentence you to natural life in prison without the possibility of parole. The courtroom erupts. Dante's mother screams, a raw, guttural sound that doesn't even sound human. She collapses forward, and Dante's grandmother catches her before she hits the floor. Marcus is crying, silent tears streaming down his face. He doesn't understand how this is happening, how his brother is being sent away forever for something he didn't do. On the other side of the courtroom, Raymond Harris's mother nods slowly, her face wet with tears. His sister wraps an arm around her. They wanted justice, and in the eyes of the law, this is it. Dante turns around, tries to reach for his mother, but the bailiff is already moving toward him. Mom, I'm sorry, I didn't. But his voice is drowned out by the chaos. The judge is calling for order. People are shouting. The bailiff is pulling Dante toward the side door. The last thing Dante sees before the door closes is his mother's face, destroyed, broken, like she's watching her son die. And in a way, she is. And then he's in the hallway, handcuffed, being led back to the holding cell. Natural life, no parole. He's 19 years old, and he never fired the gun. Rewind 18 months. Dante Williams is 17, almost 18. Southside Chicago, Bronzeville, a neighborhood that used to be called the Black Metropolis back in the 1920s and 30s, when Black-owned businesses thrived and hope felt real. But by the time Dante was born, that hope had mostly dried up. The businesses were gone, boarded up, replaced by liquor stores and check-cashing places and empty lots where buildings used to stand. Poverty was everywhere, violence too. Dante grew up hearing gunshots the way other kids hear rain. He lives with his mother and younger brother in a 2-bedroom apartment on the 4th floor of a building with broken elevators and hallways that smell like mildew and weed. The paint is peeling. The radiator only works half the time. In winter, they sleep with extra blankets and keep the oven on. His mother, Patricia, works 2 jobs, one cleaning offices downtown. She leaves at 5 in the morning, takes 2 buses to get there, scrubs toilets and empties trash cans for people who don't even look at her. Her second job is stocking shelves at a grocery store on the overnight shift. 11 p.m. to 6 a.m., 3 nights a week. She's exhausted all the time. Dark circles under her eyes, back always hurting. Hands dry and cracked from cleaning chemicals. But she never misses a day, never complains. She just works. Because she's doing it for her boys so they can eat, so they can stay in school, so they don't end up like so many other kids in the neighborhood, dead, locked up, or stuck. Dante knows this. He sees how hard she works. He feels the weight of it every day. He's supposed to be the man of the house. His father left when Dante was 6. Just walked out one day and never came back. Dante barely remembers him. Just a voice, a shadow, a door closing. So it's on Dante to help, to contribute, to not be a burden. But opportunities are thin. Dante graduated high school, Diet High School, class of 2016. His grades were okay, mostly B's and C's. Not great, but not terrible either. He skipped a lot of classes senior year, not because he didn't care, but because school felt pointless when he could see his mother working herself to death, and it still wasn't enough to keep the lights on. He wanted to go to community college, maybe study auto mechanics. He was good with his hands, good at fixing things. Cars made sense to him in a way school never did. When he was 15, he used to help his neighbor, Mr. Jackson, work on cars in the alley behind their building. Mr. Jackson taught him how to change oil, replace brake pads, diagnose engine problems by sound. Dante loved it, the logic of it, the satisfaction of taking something broken and making it work again. But community college cost money, books, fees, tools, and his mom didn't have it. So after graduation, Dante got a job at a car wash on Cottage Grove. $8 an hour, 20 hours a week if he was lucky. Sometimes less if business was slow. He gave most of his paycheck to his mom, kept 20 or 30 bucks for himself. Enough for the bus, maybe a meal or 2. It wasn't enough, not even close. He wanted to help more, wanted to take some of the weight off his mother's shoulders, wanted to buy Marcus new shoes because his old ones had holes in them. But $8 an hour doesn't get you very far. That's when he started hanging with his friend Terrence. Terrence was 21. Dante had known him since middle school. They used to play basketball together at the park on 47th Street. Terrence was cool, funny, always had money, always had new shoes, nice clothes, a car. Dante knew where the money came from. Everyone knew. Terrence sold weed, sometimes pills, sometimes worse. He ran with a crew that controlled a few blocks on the south side. Not a gang exactly, just guys trying to make money the only way they knew how. Terrence carried a gun, a black 9mm Glock he kept tucked in his waistband. He called it insurance. Out here, you gotta protect yourself, Terrence would say. Police ain't coming to save you. You gotta save yourself. Dante's mom hated Terrence, told Dante to stay away from him. That boy's gonna end up dead or locked up, she'd say. And if you're with him, you will too. But Terrence was Dante's friend, had been for years. And when you grow up in a neighborhood where everyone's struggling, You don't abandon your friends just because they make bad choices. Besides, Terrence never pressured Dante to get involved in anything illegal. Never asked him to sell anything or carry anything. He just hung out, rode around in Terrence's car, played video games, talked about getting out of Chicago someday, maybe moving to Atlanta or Houston or somewhere with more opportunities. Dante thought he could walk the line, be friends with Terrence without becoming like him. He thought he was smarter than that. He thought he could control the situation. He was wrong. March 14th, a Friday night, cold, Chicago cold, the kind that cuts through your jacket and settles in your bones. Dante had just gotten off his shift at the car wash. His hands were raw from scrubbing tires and wiping down interiors. His back ached. He'd made $43 for 6 hours of work. After tips, he had $52 in his pocket. He walked to the bus stop, earbuds in, scrolling through his phone. He was supposed to go home. His mom had texted earlier asking him to come home for dinner because Marcus had a science project due Monday and needed help. But then his phone buzzed. A text from Terrence. "Yo, pull up. I need you for something quick." Dante hesitated, looked at the time. 7:30 p.m. He could meet Terrence for an hour and still be home by 9. He texted back, "What you need?" "Terrence, just come through. I'll explain when you get here." Dante stared at the screen. Something felt off. Terrence was usually more specific. But Terrence had helped him before. Loaned him money when his mom couldn't pay the electric bill and they were about to get shut off. Bought Marcus new shoes when his old ones fell apart and Dante didn't have the money. Friends help friends. Dante texted back, "Where you at?" Terrence sent an address, a corner on the south side, not far from where Dante was. Dante got on the bus. 20 minutes later, Dante was sitting in the passenger seat of Terrence's black Chevy Impala. The car was warm. The heater was blasting. Terrence was driving, one hand on the wheel, the other on his phone. In the backseat was another guy. Dante had seen him around the neighborhood but didn't know his name. Early 20s. Hoodie pulled up, quiet, staring out the window. "Where we going?" Dante asked. "West Side," Terrence said. "Just gotta pick something up." "Pick what up?" Terrence glanced at him. "Money somebody owes me." Dante's stomach tightened. "What do you mean?" "Don't worry about it. You just gotta drive." "Drive? What are you talking about?" "I gotta go inside for a minute," Terrence said. "You just sit in the car, keep it running. If anything looks weird, you honk twice and we dip." "That's it." Dante shook his head. "Man, I don't know about this." "It's 5 minutes, bro. Relax. Ain't nothing gonna happen. I just need you to have my back. That's what friends do, right?" Dante looked at Terrence. They'd been friends for 6 years. Terrence had never asked him for anything like this before. "You sure this is safe?" Dante asked. "Yeah, man. I've done this 100 times. It's just business. We go in, get what we're owed, we leave. Nobody gets hurt." Dante should have said no. Should have asked to be dropped off right there. Should have trusted his gut. But he didn't, because Terrence was his friend. And you don't leave your friends hanging. They pulled up to a house on the west side, a small bungalow with peeling paint and bars on the windows. The porch light was on. A dog barked somewhere down the block. The street was quiet, empty. Terrence put the car in park but left it running. "Stay here," he said. "If you see anything weird, cops, anybody running out, anything, you honk twice. Got it?" Dante nodded. His hands were shaking. He gripped the steering wheel to steady them. Terrence and the other guy got out. Terrence reached under his seat and pulled out his gun. He checked the magazine, racked the slide, then tucked it back under his hoodie. Dante's heart dropped. "Yo, Terrence, why you need that?" Terrence looked back at him through the window. "Just in case, don't worry, I'm not going to use it." And then he was gone. Walking up the driveway with the other guy, they disappeared around the side of the house. Dante sat in the driver's seat, engine running, hands on the wheel, breath fogging the windshield. His mind raced. He should drive away. Leave Terrence there. Go home. Forget this ever happened. But if he left, Terrence might get hurt, might need help. 1 minute passed, 2 minutes. Dante checked the mirrors. The street was still empty. No cars, no people. 3 minutes. Then shouting, muffled but loud enough to hear through the walls of the house. Dante's stomach twisted, then a gunshot. The sound split the night like a crack of thunder. Dante froze. His whole body went cold. His hands locked on the steering wheel. Then another shot. The front door burst open. Terrence and the other guy ran out. Terrence was yelling something Dante couldn't understand. His face was wild, panicked. They threw themselves into the car. Drive, drive, go! Dante's hands moved on autopilot. He didn't think. He just reacted. He slammed the gear into drive and floored it. The tires screeched. The car fishtailed. He gripped the wheel and straightened it out. He didn't even look back. What happened? Dante shouted. What the fuck just happened? Terrence was breathing hard. His hands were shaking. There was something dark on his jacket. Blood. Not his. He tried to pull on me, Terrence said. I didn't have a choice. He went for his gun. You shot him? He pulled first. What was I supposed to do? Dante's vision blurred. His hands were locked on the wheel. He couldn't think, couldn't process what was happening. Someone was shot, maybe dead, and Dante drove them there. He drove them away. Pull over, Terrence said. Let me drive. Dante pulled into an empty parking lot. They switched seats. Terrence drove, fast but not reckless. He knew the streets, knew where the cameras were, knew how to disappear. They dropped the other guy off on the south side. He got out without saying a word and walked into the shadows. Then Terrence drove Dante home. Don't say shit to nobody, Terrence said. You understand? Not your mom, not your brother. Nobody. Dante nodded. He felt like he was going to throw up. We good? Terrence asked. Dante didn't answer. He just got out of the car and walked toward his building. Behind him, Terrence drove away. Dante went inside. His mom was asleep on the couch, still in her work uniform. Marcus was in their room, asleep with his science project half finished on the floor. Dante lay in bed staring at the ceiling, replaying everything in his mind. He told himself it was going to be okay. Terrence said it was self-defense. The guy pulled first. It wasn't murder. And Dante didn't even go inside, didn't touch the gun, didn't hurt anyone. He was just the driver. That's all. But deep down, he knew something terrible had just happened, and he was part of it. The police came 2 days later. Sunday morning, 10 a.m. Dante was at home, sitting on the couch with Marcus, watching TV, pretending everything was normal. There was a knock on the door, heavy, loud, authoritative. His mother opened it. 4 police officers, guns drawn, vests on. Dante Williams. Dante stood up slowly, hands raised. Yeah. You're under arrest for the murder of Raymond Harris. His mother screamed. Marcus started crying. The officers rushed in. They slammed Dante to the floor, face first into the carpet. His hands were yanked behind his back. Cuffs clicked tight around his wrists. I didn't kill anyone, Dante shouted. I didn't even go inside. But the officers weren't listening. They pulled him to his feet and walked him out of the apartment. His mother ran after them, sobbing. He's a good boy. He didn't do this. Please. But the door to the police car slammed shut, and all Dante could think was, I didn't pull the trigger. I didn't even know what was happening. I didn't kill anyone. Cook County Jail, Division 9. Intake. Dante sat in a holding cell with 11 other men, some asleep on metal benches, some pacing, some staring into nothing. The cell smelled like sweat, urine, and fear. He'd been arrested before, once at 16 for shoplifting, probation, but this was different. This was murder. 3 days later, a public defender came to see him. Sarah Chen, mid-30s, sharp eyes, exhausted. A briefcase scarred by years of too many cases and not enough time. She laid out the charges. First-degree murder, armed robbery, conspiracy. But I didn't shoot him, Dante said. Terrence did. I was just driving. It doesn't matter, she said. She explained the felony murder rule. If someone dies during a robbery, everyone involved is guilty, shooter or not. That's insane, Dante said. That's the law. Terrence had already taken a deal. 15 years. He'd testified that Dante knew the plan. It's a lie, Dante said. It only matters what the jury believes. The prosecution offered Dante a deal. 25 years, parole after 21. And if I don't take it, you go to trial. If you lose, you die in prison. Dante talked to his mother through glass. She begged him to take the deal. At least you'd come home someday. But Dante couldn't say he murdered a man when he didn't. I'm not pleading guilty to something I didn't do. The trial lasted 8 days. The prosecution painted him as a willing accomplice. Terrence testified that Dante knew everything, that they planned it together. It was a lie, but it came with a lighter sentence. The victim's mother took the stand. She talked about her son, his daughter, the life that ended on a kitchen floor. She looked at Dante. You took my son from me. Dante wanted to speak, to apologize, to explain. His lawyer told him not to move. In closing, the prosecutor was clear. The law doesn't require intent. It doesn't require the trigger. It only requires participation. The jury deliberated 6 hours. Guilty of first-degree murder under the felony murder doctrine. Dante's mother collapsed. 2 weeks later, sentencing. The judge said he believed Dante didn't intend for anyone to die. For a moment, Dante felt hope. But intention isn't the standard, the judge said. Your choices led to a man's death. He paused. I sentence you to natural life in prison. No parole. Dante closed his eyes. Natural life. He was 19 years old, and he never fired the gun. Stateville Correctional Center, Joliet, Illinois. 7 years later. Dante is 26 now. He's been inside for 7 years and has the rest of his life ahead of him. All of it behind bars. His cell is 8 by 10 feet, beige concrete walls, metal bunks bolted to the wall, a stainless steel toilet with no seat, a narrow window with bars that looks out onto the yard. He shares the cell with Kevin, 43, quiet, balding, 22 years in for armed robbery, felony murder. Kevin never pulled the trigger either. Dante has learned this place is full of men like them, drivers, lookouts, wrong place, wrong people. Life sentences for murders they didn't commit. The law doesn't distinguish, shooter or accomplice. It's all the same. The first year, Dante was angry. Fights, broken knuckles, 3 months in solitary. Solitary broke him. 23 hours a day in a cell the size of a bathroom. No sound, no touch, just his thoughts. The second year, he disappeared, stopped eating, lost weight, stopped talking, lay on his bunk for hours wishing he wouldn't wake up. Then in the third year, something changed. His mother came to visit. She looked older, tired. Her hands shook against the glass, but she still came. Every month, 3 hours each way. She brought Marcus. Marcus was 21 now, working, in school, staying out of trouble. I'm doing this for you, Marcus said, so your sacrifice means something. That's when Dante understood. His choices didn't just destroy his life. They damaged everyone who loved him. He couldn't keep wasting away. If he was going to die in prison, he was going to matter first. He started reading. Law, history, philosophy, the new Jim Crow, case after case on felony murder. He learned how old the law was, how many lives it had buried, how some states were finally changing it. So he started writing. Legislators, advocacy groups, anyone who might listen. Most never replied. One did. A law professor told him about a clemency project, said there was hope, even if it was small. Dante applied. He's still waiting. Now he mentors younger inmates, kids who remind him of himself. You think you're just taking a ride, he tells them. The law doesn't care about intentions. Once someone's dead, there's no rewind. Some listen, some don't. But Dante keeps talking. At night, staring at the ceiling, he thinks about the life he lost, the family he'll never have, the moments he missed. He thinks about Raymond Harris, the man who died, about his daughter, 15 now, and about that one decision. One ride, one yes. That's all it took. Dante knows he can't change the past. He knows the law says he's guilty, but he also knows justice and legality aren't always the same. Was his mistake worth a life sentence? Some days he thinks yes. Other days he thinks there should be room for second chances. But it doesn't matter. The law has already decided, and he'll spend the rest of his life living with that choice. He didn't wake up that day planning to take a life. He thought he was just giving his friend a ride. But the law didn't care who fired the gun. It only cared that he was there and that someone ended up dead. One decision, one night, one ride, and everything was gone. His freedom, his future, his family, his entire life. All because he said yes when he should have said no. The felony murder rule exists in 48 states. It's been on the books for centuries, and it's destroyed thousands of lives. Some people say it's necessary, that it holds everyone accountable, that if you participate in a dangerous crime, you should face the consequences, no matter what your role was. Others say it's unjust, that it punishes people for crimes they didn't commit, that it doesn't distinguish between the person who pulled the trigger and the person who just happened to be there. If one night can erase an entire future, how careful do we really need to be about who we ride with and what we're willing to be part of? What do you think? Is the felony murder rule justice or just a shortcut that destroys lives? Share your thoughts in the comments, and if you want more true stories like this, subscribe for the next one.